And welcome back, everyone, to the Resurrección series from Okay, we have the question of another actual Bleach character, a captain. What is the Resurrection of a hollow version of Mayuri Kurotsuchi, the 12th captain of the the captain of the 12th Division, the Research and Development Corps. He is arguably, at this point, the smartest man in the Soul Society. The only two people smarter than him outright are Aizen and Urahara. And even then, Mayuri's intelligence comes apart from just his raw intelligence. His ability to just have, prepare backup plans and backup plans and backup plans. Contingency on contingency on contingency, basically. But when we look at him as a hollow, what do we bring to the table with that? Well, because of the nature of Soul Reapers, their Zanpakutos and their abilities, that I do think has to be translated into the hollow itself. So Mayuri's standard Zanpakuto still stays the same. It's a katana, looks probably the same. His mask, though, I think would be very interesting because as he progresses as a hollow, we know hollows can grow in strength, Ronkars can grow in strength. That his mask probably changed as he went along. It was probably looked about the same as we saw it when we first saw it in the Soul Society arc. Then it turned into that Pharaoh design. Then it turned into that altered version that we got in 1,000-Year Blood War arc. And now it's probably that weird souped-up version that looks like a antlered helmet. So I could see that being the helmet or the mask and just evolving as time goes on. Now, what his original hollow form looked like, that would be really odd. Because there's no way in hell I think his original hollow form was this giant caterpillar baby or Buddha baby. That doesn't work. His Bankai does not represent, I think, what his hollow looked like. But what we know, let me actually get Agisogi Jizo's spirit. Hold on. Agisogi Jizo. I'm butchering the name, but there we go. Agisogi Jizo. Okay, let me get the spirit up here real quick because the spirit it's an adorable little SOB, isn't he? Apparently, keep in mind too, whatever Mayuri's original Bankai was, the Bankai we see throughout the series, as also including 1,000-Year Blood War arc, where it's very different. But it's not the original form that Zanpakuto takes. He actually modified his Zanpakuto. So it's including the spirit. The spirit almost certainly looks different too at this point. But let me just see here. I just pulled up an image of the spirit of the Zanpakuto. I think, at least keep in mind, using and manifesting a lot of Mayuri's facial structure, that his original hollow form looks something akin to what Agisogi Jizo itself looks like. This little baby fairy thing. It's got he had moth-like wings. I could still see him having these big bulging eyes, but it still would be Mayuri's face. So, and he's even got blue hair like Mayuri. So it would be a very disturbing looking hollow. So I definitely think it would be a weird looking hollow, to say the least. Now, Agisogi Jizo's actual name, it translates out to leg cutting guardian. Now, with the Zanpakuto spirits, normally, with the Resurrection names, leg cutting guardian, not spirit. I normally just stick to one, maybe two names, but with the actual Zanpakutos, because most Arrancar Resurrections only have a single name, or maybe a two, the Wolves is the name of Stark's Zanpakuto. That is two words. But otherwise, there really isn't too many multi-word level resurrections. but there are still a few. And so with the Zanpakuto themselves, I feel like you can, I think you can get away with it to some degree. So maybe instead of just the leg cutting guardian, or I might go, oh, sorry, leg cutting guardian. Yeah. So the name of this would be, let me be sure I got the spelling of guardian right here. Yeah, I got the spelling right. The name would be guardian. Did I get that spelling right? Okay, yeah, guardian. The name would be leg cutting guardian, or Guardian de Corte de Pinera. Now again, don't normally get multi-worded resurrections. You don't normally do that, but every once in a while you can. So I think it's fine to do that. Now, in terms of what he looks like in his release state, obviously he keeps his, whatever his head looks like, his head mask, if you will, stays the same. Maybe gets more elaborate, maybe wraps around his head a bit more. But beyond that, there wouldn't be a huge amount of changes. He'd gain the wings, which would actually probably be yellow, maybe with some white accented through there. I'd also think he maybe gains a couple extra limbs. Nothing major, but something to represent the caterpillar aspect of his Bankai. So maybe he's got these little appendages that look like legs, but they're actually just bony armor. And I could see him being able to manifest blades from the front part of his body. So I could see that happening. Like he can manifest blades maybe from his body is one of his abilities. Almost like a porcupine, but just like summon blades. But what is the actual ability of his Resurrection? Because, as we know, Mayuri is someone who just, kind of adapts and evolves as the fight goes on. He's very quick to, analyze and think of a countermeasure. So do I go that route, or do I just go the poison route aspect of his Bankai? Because that also carries over. And you know what? I think that is really the main apart from the massive size and the physical prowess, that is in fact the actual main ability of his Bankai was to spew the poison. We know this because he does that because the new Akisoki Jizo, Konjiki Akisoki Jizo, Maiten Futen, I think it is. He had to modify the Bankai to do that. That's not a natural ability of the Bankai. He had to make that ability happen. And so I think it does have to be that he is a poison-based Rankar. Which, to be fair, except for, what were those two little bratty, or the one bratty Rankar and her friend? Not Meldis. The centipede girl. I can't remember her name. She had kind of a poison, but really more what she had was a corrosive acid. There really aren't many poison type Zanpakuto. To be honest, Mayuri's is kind of the only real one we've ever seen, straight out. So I think keeping it to poison really is more effective, but because of the design of the Bankai, or the Rankar we've discussed, the Resurrección, we can still do some clever things. Obviously, the blades on his body, they ooze poison. But also, his wings, they create flapping gusts of poison. He sheds poison. So I think ultimately I think ultimately he's like a walking plague, more or less. Which would be, and again, we have individuals who are much more dangerous than him, say like a Baragon, but ultimately it's still, we don't have a poison-based character truly in Bleach. Mayuri's the closest we get. Now, keep in mind, in Shikai, his poison also works on, like, paralysis and things along those lines. So I could also see the ability for him to change the effects of his poison. So I could see that, too. And that would deal with his heightened intelligence. And his ability of, like, Reishi control. He's said to be one of the best Keto users in the Soul Society, so... Yeah, there you go. Ultimately, that would be... Oh, yeah, no, I already talked about what I thought his original holoform would be. Ultimately, that is my thoughts on Resurrección for Mayuri Kurotsuchi. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.